despite being a regular feature on UK weather maps, Stornoway is actually a very small town with just over 5,000 inhabitants. But context is everything. Once you've spent a few days in the rest of the Outer Hebrides, you'll drive back here and think it's a metropolis. Stornoway is the commercial and administrative centre for the Western Isles, or the Outer Hebrides. The sheltered harbour on the east coast of Lewis has always been favoured by fishermen since Viking times, and in the mid-19th century the town became the herring port of Britain, its population trebling over the summer months. Life has been much quieter here since the days of the herring boom, and tourism now plays a major part in the town's economy. You'll have plenty of choice when it comes to Harris Tweed. When I first came to Stornoway, about 25 years ago, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be great if it had an arts centre and a really good museum? Well, fast forward, and now it does. You'll find the Museum of the Western Isles within Sir James Matheson's Lews Castle, which sits in spacious grounds above the harbour on the site of the much older Stornoway Castle. Central to the exhibits are replicas of the Norse Lewis chessmen, discovered at Uig on the west coast. The Arts Centre, An Lanntair, is the cultural hub of the islands, and it's well worth checking the listings when you're here to check out what's on. There's a great little cafe too. On the 1st of January 1919, a tragedy unfolded at this spot that would affect the island for generations to come. Lewis and Harris had already lost over 1,000 men in the Great War, so imagine the anticipation for the survivors returning home on the yacht An Lanntair. But then, as the lights of Stornoway appeared, a storm brew up in the early hours of the 1st of January 1919. The ship ran aground and 201 lives were lost. The tragedy left a mark on the islands that is felt to this day, and is remembered by this moving memorial that overlooks the location where those young lives were lost. So these are some of the most common questions about Stornoway according to Google. Number 1, how do I get to Stornoway? Well, you can either catch a Calmac ferry or you can take a plane. There are regular flights from Edinburgh, Glasgow, Inverness and Benbecula. Are there any supermarkets in Stornoway? Actually, yes. There are 2 co-ops and a large Tesco. What language do they speak in Stornoway? Well, the current Google answer is a quote that says no English is spoken, which of course is complete nonsense. In fact, you won't actually hear much Gaelic on the streets of Stornoway, but that's not to say that it isn't alive and well here. Just that a lot of the young people particularly don't necessarily use it as their first language. But let's face it, given that the competing language is the global dominating English, then the fact that Gaelic survives at all is something that we should all be really thankful for. And finally, is Stornoway worth visiting? Well, that's a stupid question, unless perhaps you're a sun worshipper. It's a great town for both locals and visitors alike, and of course it's the perfect base to go and explore the rest of Lewis and Harris. You can catch more films about the Outer Hebrides on the channel, so please subscribe, click for notifications, and I'll see you next time.